What's going on, everyone? I'm just a typical average American here today to react and learn about work in Norway. I'm very interested to compare what, typical work life is like in Norway compared to here in the United States. If I had to talk a little bit about work in the US in general, not getting too specific, honestly, I think a lot of people these days are having a negative experience at work in terms of feeling like the corporation or company they're working for doesn't treat them well or pay them enough or really care about them, and that the company cares more about their bottom line, profit, and product. That's just very general. Some people have the wonderful opportunity and experience of working a job they love, being able to do something they love and make good money and really go to work every day enjoying it, or working for an employer that really cares about them, which is fantastic. But the experience of working in the US is mixed, I think, but ever increasingly it seems that negative experiences stick out. I don't know what the experience of work is like in Norway on average, or if there's a way to really talk about working in Norway in general. But I think this video is going to explain a little bit about that, which I'm extremely fascinated to hear about. So let's take a look.
Welcome back to my channel. In today's video I am going to give you some facts about the working environment and the working conditions in Norway. Basically, how is it to work in Norway? I just wanted to quickly say that this video is a collaboration with the Norway Moving Guide. That is a project that I have been involved with for some time now. They have two online courses, one on how to move to Norway and one on how to find a job in Norway.
Okay, I think I'm gonna skip the intro and go to the good stuff.
So if you are interested in this, just check out the link down below in the description box so you can go to their website and check out the courses basically. Okay, so let's start with the facts, and the first thing I want to talk about is the Norwegian working hours. So Norwegians have a very balanced work and life relationship.
Oh geez, already off the bat. I feel like that might be one of the #1 complaints in the US, that people feel like they're at work all the time, working their whole day away, and then they just get to go home and have a few hours before they have to go to bed and do it all over again. So that's definitely a criticism in the US people have.
They work so they can enjoy life, not the opposite. They don't live to work. They think that as less hours you work per day, as more productive you are. So the average person works more or less 37 hours per week, and that's like if you go to work at 9 a.m. and you leave work at 4:30 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fantastic way to look at it. That's already a great Norwegian perspective to have. That if you go to work to be productive, get your work done, do what you need to do, and that's it. That's the job. But in the US, in a lot of places, all they care about is that you show up and you're there for this many hours, the full time, doing your job, whether you have work to do or not. Showing up and being there all day. So that's a big difference, and I like how Norway looks at it.
And that's incredible because you leave work at 4:30 and you still have the whole afternoon to do incredible things and
yeah, and also working like 37 hours a week. So like a half hour less than Americans every day. That's already better.
to enjoy life and to be with your family or friends, go somewhere. So yeah, so that's really, really good. I love that in Norway. Besides this, they also like to leave work early on Fridays. I guess it's because the end of the week and weekend is almost there, and I think they just go early so they can start the weekend early.
I love that. That is not a thing in America. An employer would never let you leave early just to enjoy the weekend. That's such a nice human thing to do. That's the problem is employers in the US don't look at you as like a human to human bond. It's like you're working for the corporation and it's this big machine and you will stay till the end of the day. Whereas in Norway, it seems like a lot of businesses or employers understand that we're people. Oh, it's the weekend. Maybe they'll let you leave a little early to have a good time. And then you're going to perform better at work because you're going to be happier. So it ends up being a benefit for the job.
But yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is if you work in an office, you will have most probably lunch included. So your work will give you lunch. They will have someone making lunch for you, or they will have a canteen or something like this. And the lunch hours are included.
What? Oh, oh, I misunderstood. I thought she was saying that you are paid for your lunch, which is true in the United States. Lunch is included in your 8-hour day. You get paid while you have lunch. It's usually 30 minutes or an hour, depending on when you work. But she's actually going even further than that and saying that in some workplaces in Norway, they provide lunch, like a cafeteria or lunches or something. That would be quite a bit more rare in the United States, but that sounds very nice.
In the work hours. It's like this, and the lunch hours are included in the work hours. It is a quick lunch, so you don't take too long eating. You just have, I don't know, maybe 45 minutes or 1 hour maximum for lunch.
Okay. This sounds very similar to America, actually.
The average Norwegian salary is between 45,000 and 50,000 euros per year, and that's quite a lot. In most businesses, the dress code is very...
When was this video made? 5 years ago. So $50,000, 50,000 euros was worth more 5 years ago. Quite a bit more. So, yeah, sounds like in Norway, people on average are well paid, which is a huge problem in the United States, where the people who are the poorest in the US, the very poorest percent of people are very, very, very poor, and they can't even live without government assistance, and they can't get out of that cycle of poverty because to escape poverty, you need like money to educate yourself or to give yourself more opportunities or to move to somewhere else. You need money, but you can never get it because you're super poor. It's horrible and a huge problem in the US. The minimum wage is absurdly low and you can't even live off it. So many problems with salary and pay in the United States, where people who are paid a lot in the US are paid a lot, and the people who are paid low are way too low, and there's not enough of a healthy medium between them.
Informal, very quite a lot. In most businesses, the dress code is very informal, very casual, very cozy, and even some people have this work shoes, like slippers or comfy shoes, that when they arrive to work, they change into this.
Okay, this is different. This is very different than the US. In the US, you are expected in most workplaces to dress professionally. They call it business casual. If it's kind of an average business where you need to dress well, and if it's a really high-paying, prestigious job, you need to dress very much in business, suits and other things like that. And everywhere else, like at a restaurant or more of a service position, you would wear a uniform. But in an office, you can't just dress comfortably. You can't dress how you want. Unfortunately, it's very silly, and it kind of makes sense. Maybe it's just the way Americans were raised to think, no, well, you have to dress really nice for your job. But that's changed a little bit over the years. It's changing a bit, where businesses are becoming a little more relaxed, I think, as the younger generation starts to become more and more integrated into businesses and relax the dress code a little. But Norway sounds like it's already on top of this. It sounds very cool.
Kind of shoes, just to be more cozy. In general, in Norway, at work, you treat your boss kind of like you treat your colleagues. I guess it's not like this everywhere, but your boss, it's not here and you are here. It's more equal. There's not this kind of like superiority position, and I also think that's very nice.
I think it depends on where you work in the US, but on average, it's very similar to what she's describing about Norway, where the boss is not this amazing figure put on a pedestal that you can never talk to or you have to respect. I think in a good working environment, people are friendly with their boss and have a healthy level of respect where you can work and be productive without joking around and being too silly. But there's a little of that, I think. So sounds pretty similar to Norway, honestly.
Family in Norway is very, very important. So it is very normal for people that have kids to leave work earlier to get the kids from the kindergarten. That's super normal.
I haven't had any experience with this, but I think for the most part, unless your boss or business was very accommodating, they usually want you to stay and work. You'd have to give up your pay or take time off to leave early, unfortunately. So Norway, again, sounds a lot more human, a lot more understanding. It's so much better in that regard.
In Norway, companies to get the kids from the kindergarten, that's super normal. In Norway, companies or bosses like to make their employees happy, and what happens is sometimes you have, for example, free access to a gym. The company pays for everything so you can go to the gym. They also make company events, for example, in Christmas time.
This is certainly true. It really depends on where you work and how much your job pays and how big the corporation is, but a lot of businesses in the US do provide perks like this, where they are going to let you, like, maybe they'll have a gym or a cafeteria, or they'll do fun events. So this certainly exists in the United States. I wouldn't necessarily say it's super common, but it's not uncommon, if that makes sense.
They have this huge dinner that everyone is like crazy about. Everyone that
Yeah, like having a Christmas dinner or get together would be very normal in the US.
works there go together and have dinner, and the company pays everything. It's called julebord. Some companies even travel together, and
What was that?
the company pays everything. It's like crazy about. Everyone that works there go together and have dinner, and the company pays everything. It's called julebord. Some companies even travel together, and the company pays for everything. For example, in architecture offices, I know they do a lot of like study trips to go see an architecture, and the company pays for.
Well, I haven't worked in any kind of architecture firm, but it does sound like Norway goes a little above and beyond. A little bit more beyond than the US goes. And they're a bit more, they take care of their employees better, that's for sure.
For it, but I know this happens also in other types of companies. Oh, and in Christmas, sometimes they also give you presents, a Christmas present. In a lot of places here in Norway, in the companies, it exists this thing called Cake Friday, where a different person every week brings a different kind of cake, and they
That's fun. Cake Friday. I've never heard of that. That sounds really fun. I like that. That's not a thing in the US, but I like that.
share with the company, and I think that's really cool, but also not very healthy. Here in Norway, when you work in a company for a long period of time, you can take a gap year, and this means that you can stop working for a full year, travel, do things you would like to do in your life, and then come back at the end of that year, and your position will still be there for you.
What? Oh my gosh, this is the most extreme perk, the most extreme show of an employer and caring about their employee that I have heard yet in this video. Nothing like this really exists in the US, where they just let you... Do they pay you? Probably not. But you can take a year off if you've saved up money and go on vacation or take a break, but you can come back and know that your job is going to be there. I've never heard of anything like that before. That's pretty incredible. And again, it's just Norway showing the humanitarian side of them, knowing that people need a break sometimes to be people. I love this, but corporations in the US are so cold and calculated, and they would probably fill your position. They'd say, okay, you want to take a year off? See ya. And then they'd have to hire someone else, and I've just never heard of anything like this. It would be incredibly rare to do this, ever.
You can just like enjoy this year without doing anything related to work and just come back and have your place secured and continue working. When you are sick, you can miss work 3 days in a row, and you don't even have to give a justification. You have to call, of course, saying you are not going to work because you are sick, but you don't need any proof that you are sick. You don't need to go to the doctor so he can give you a paper, so you can give the paper to the people at work to prove that you are sick. You can just miss those 3 days. If it's more than 3 days...
Again, the policies in Norway are just more open and forgiving and understanding across the board compared to the United States. In the US, if you take a sick day, you have to either not get paid or you have to have earned sick time by working. You accumulate points and hours that you can then spend to have a day off, take a vacation, or to have a sick day, or you have a limited number of sick days during the year, and once you use them up, you won't get paid if you're sick. But no, you couldn't be sick 3 days in a row, for one thing. That would not fly. Your work would be so angry and very mad if you were sick 3 days in a row. Yeah, this is kind of blowing my mind, and it really makes me think about how much better the employee-business relationship is in other countries, especially Norway, compared to the US.
Then you need to get that proof. But yeah, here in Norway you have 24 vacation days with payment. So they will pay you for being on vacation. Plus
24? That's like 3 weeks. That is pretty good. That is really good. In the United States, you have to like save up hours to go on vacation. You don't get a lot of them. Sir, I think 3 weeks would be pretty darn good anywhere in the US. Yeah, this is good.
The national holiday, so if you put all of this together, you will have a huge vacation with payment. And you can even have more days on vacation, but of course they don't pay those ones, but you can have them. And
yeah. They make it hard on you to take a lot of days off in the United States. They do not want you taking lots and lots of time off your job in the US. It's just not really a thing.
if you get sick while you are on holidays, they will give you those vacation days back. So
wow.
They will give you the extra days you were sick so you can have your vacation. That's incredible.
Wow.
And the last thing is about the pregnancy leave. So if someone is going to have a baby, both the mother and the father can stop working for 49 weeks. And that's basically a whole year. And all of this,
A ye- That's incredible. That's ridiculous. Yeah, in the United States, the father wouldn't even get special time off usually. He would have to use vacation or sick days to get off. Some places would let the father take leave, and the mother only gets like 3 months off at most for maternity leave, and then the mother and father have to go back to work and use daycare or something like that. But a year in Norway, they give you, which makes so much sense, right? Because it's a baby. You're trying to raise a baby. They require your attention full time, and you want to be with them. And you need like a year. That makes a lot of sense. Oh my gosh.
while receiving full salary. And if they want to have more time with
And you get paid the whole year. Is this common in Norway? This is crazy.
the pregnancy leave, they can surely do it, but they will receive less salary. So they will be on around 80% or sometimes less. It depends on the case. And that's it for today. I'm sure there are a lot more facts about this subject, so I could be talking here for a long time, but yeah. And
My mind is still blown a little bit.
I also know this doesn't apply to everyone or every job in Norway. I was talking more in general. So if you have a different experience than what I am talking about, or more interesting facts that you want to share, just write it down in the comments below. Again,
Okay, let's take a look. This was by Mon Ami. I gotta give that a like. I liked this. What did people say? I have a comment regarding lunch break. It's always 30 minutes. Is that true? No wonder Norway is one of the happiest countries. Exactly. Huge point there. No wonder Norway ranks very highly for standard of living and happiness. Because it sounds like the employers, businesses, and work actually care about you. Yeah, 45, 60-minute lunch is very good. Everyone's just saying how they want to move to Norway in the comments. Okay. Wow. So basically, this just taught me how much better work life is in Norway than the US. That's all I heard. Every single thing was better than the United States. Sounds like the businesses in Norway actually care about their employees. They don't pressure them. They give them time off. They give them time to be people, to live their lives. And like she said at the beginning, you work to live. You don't live to work. Work is not your life. For some people it is, and that's fine if they love what they do. But it seems like a lot of people in the United States do not love what they do. They do not like the companies they work for, and they hate all their benefits and job. And maybe that's just the stories I hear, because you tend to hear about the worst stuff rather than all the good stuff. But I gotta say, this just made Norway sound like they are absolutely killing it. They are doing so much better with how they handle the workplace relationship with their employees than America. Wow. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed this reaction, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. And if you're interested in more videos like this, me reacting to Norway, Norwegian culture, things in Norway that I've never seen or heard of before, feel free to subscribe for more. And until then, thanks for watching, and see you next time.